Good morning, children, and I hope you are fine and good. And I'm very happy to meet you all through this online classes. Today, we are going to revise the lessons for quarterly exams. Already, we have learned the lessons so that we are going to give revision in these lessons. So, the lesson which we are going to revise is Introduction to Microeconomics. So, from the beginning, the meaning of economics. The term or word economics comes from the ancient Greek word oikonomikos. Oikos means households and neme means management, custom, or law. So the term economics comes from the word management of household. So this is the meaning of economics. The next one, economics, its nature. So the nature of economics. To understand the nature of economics in a better way, we are going to learn the definitions given by various authors. They are wealth definition, welfare definition, scarcity definition, and the growth definitions. So these authors have given the definitions to understand the nature of economics. Children, to understand the nature of economics in a better way, we are going to learn the definitions given by the various authors. They are the Adam Smith definition. So, Adam Smith says that in the year 1723 to 1790, he has written an inquiry into the nature and causes of wealth of nations, economics as the science of wealth. So he says that a nation can increase the wealth or it can create more and more wealth. So a man is living to create more wealth. That is the main purpose of his living. But whereas the Alfred Marshall, he says that in his book Principles of Economics, he has written economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. He says that economics is about the study of wealth, on the other side a study of man. So this is called as welfare definition. The next definition will be scarcity definition, which has been given by Lionel Robbins, and he has said that economics is a science which studies about human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternative uses. That means in economics we are learning about the human science, and in the science we are learning about the ends means wants, and how we are going to satisfy these wants with the less resources, and that study is called as economics. So that is why its definition is called as scarcity definition. And the last definition given by Samuelson is called as growth definition. He says that economics is the study of how men and society to employ with the less resources they are going to produce the products, and that can be used for consumption, or they are going to distribute it among the various groups of people in the society. And that is why this definition is called as growth definition. Scope of economics. So the scope of subject economics refers to the subject matter of economics. So economics deals with the activities of production and consumption and the distribution of income among various factors of production. Then economic studies about the people's wants. That is, people have more wants and we are going to satisfy all our wants with the less resources. So scarcity is the main problem we are facing. And economics is the study of human behavior. In economics we are learning about the human behavior. So this economics is also called as human science or social science. The next concept will be whether economics is an art or science. So art is the practical application of knowledge for achieving particular goals. Whereas science is the systematic knowledge. Data can be collected and it can be taken to the laboratory, and they do all these experiments and they come to the precise value. So they say that economics is both an art and also an science. Or other words, we can say both the art and science are complementary to each other. So if economics is a science, whether economics is a positive science or normative science. So positive science deals with the problem what it is, whereas the normative science deals with the problems what ought to be. For example, if the rate of interest has been increased, in the positive science, how and on what basis the rate of interest has been increased or how we can reduce it. Whereas the normative science deals with the problem whether it is good or bad for the economy. Children, let us learn about the basic concept in economics. They are goods and services. So the goods and services satisfy human wants. So goods are also called as product, commodities and things, etc. Let us learn about the kinds of goods, free goods and economic goods. Free goods are the goods which are available in nature, in plenty, God's creation. God has created for us to use. So, example, air and sunshine. Economic goods are not available in plenty. They are very less or they are very scarce in supply. The next one, consumer goods and capital goods. Consumer goods directly satisfy our wants, TV, fridge, automobile, etc. Whereas the capital goods, they don't directly satisfy our wants, but instead they are going to help to produce the consumer goods. Next one will be the perishable goods and the durable goods. So perishable goods are short-lived, fish, flour, etc. Whereas the durable good and the semi-durable goods have a little longer life than the perishable goods. Services. So along with goods, services are also produced or consumed. They also possess the following. That is, first one, intangible. Intangible things are not physical object but exist in connection to the other things. For example, goodwill or the brand image. Next one, heterogeneous. Services vary across with the various regions and the cultural backgrounds. Next one, inseparable from their makers. Labor and laborer are inseparable. And the last one, perishable. Services cannot be stored as inventories like asset. Once if the cricket match is over, there is no need for a person to possess the ticket. So these are the characteristics of services. Children, now the next concept will be utility. Utility means usefulness, or in other words, the want satisfying power of a commodity. That is, if a commodity is going to satisfy your want, then it is called as utility. Whereas the characteristics of utility. Utility is psychological. Utility is not equivalent to usefulness. Utility is not the same as pleasure. Utility is personal and relative. Utility is the function of the intensity of human want. Utility is a subject concept and utility has no ethical or moral significance. These are the characteristics of utility. The various types of utilities are form utility, time utility, place utility, position utility, service utility, and knowledge utility. Now, let us learn the other basic concept of economics, price. So, it is the value of the good expressed in terms of money. Market refers to the place where the buyer and seller enter into an exchange of goods and services over a price. Cost refers to the expenses incurred to produce or acquire a quantum of product. Next one, revenue. Revenue is the income obtained from the sale of good or service. So total revenue is equal to P into Q. Equilibrium. Equilibrium is the position from which is no not net tendency to move. That is known as equilibrium, or it is a state of balance. Income. Income represents the amount of monetary or other returns either earned or unearned, small or big, accruing over a period of time to an economic unit. These are the various basic concepts of economics. Children, economics uses two methods. They are deductive method and inductive method. So deductive method is also called as analytical method or abstract method. So it consists in deriving conclusion from general truth. Next method will be inductive method. This is also called as empirical method. It involves the process of reasoning from particular facts to general principle. Or economic generalizations are derived in these method. They on the basis of experimentation, observation and statistical methods. Children, now the next term will be about the nature of economic laws. So the law expresses a causal relationship between two or more than two phenomena. Or economic laws are not precise and certain as the laws in the physical sciences. Physical sciences are called as physics and chemistry. We conduct experiments and come to the correct value. So they are precise or accurate. Whereas economics is nothing but the social science, or it studies about the human behavior. So we cannot take them to the laboratory and conduct experiments. So they are not precise. But money is used as a measuring rod, so laws in exact economics are more exact, precise, and accurate than the social sciences. Since we are using money as a measuring rod, the laws in economics are more exact. This is about the nature of economic laws. Children, the next concept will be the subdivisions of economics. They are consumption, production, exchange, and distribution. So, consumption, it is the starting point of the economic activity. Production is the transformation of input into output. Then, exchange is concerned with the price determination in different market forms. Next one, distribution. It studies about the pricing of factors of production, or otherwise we are going to determine the reward for the various factors of production called as land, labor, capital, and organization. So these are the subdivision of economics. Children, economics has been broadly classified into microeconomics and macroeconomics. So microeconomics, it is the study of the economic units of the individual units, say household, firm, or industry. It deals with the problem of single firm or industry. Whereas the macroeconomics is the study of the economy as a whole. The main problems of the country will be dealt in the macroeconomics. The problems are unemployment, inflation, production, output, etc. The other types of economics are international economics, public economics, developmental economics, health economics, and environmental economics. Children, the next concept will be about basic economic problems. That is, in our economy, resources are always scarce and the wants are numerous. So we have to make certain choices. The choices are what and how much to produce. Whether to produce more of food, clothing, and housing, or to have more luxury goods. Then how much to produce or how to produce. Every society has to decide whether to use labor intensive technology or the capital intensive technology, and for whom to produce. Every society has to decide whether we are going to produce the goods for the middle class people or for the rich people, how we are going to distribute. So these are the major problems of an economy, and each economy will decide it on their own way. Children, the next one will be the production possibility curve. It means the problem of choice between relatively scarce commodities due to the limited productive resources with the society can be illustrated with the help of geometrical device, and it is known as production possibility curve. That is, with the less resources, the country is going to produce the commodity. It means they are going to allocate the resources in such a way they are going to produce the two goods. For that, they have the assumptions, then we have production possibility schedule and the diagram, and the uses of production possibility curve. Children, how are you all? Shall we recall whatever we have learnt in today's class? We have learned the meaning of economics, nature, scope of economics, basic concept in economics, subdivision of economics, types of economics, and the basic economic problems, and the nature of economic laws, and also the production possibility curve. I think, children, I hope you have understood this lesson. Please go through it and learn for your revision exams properly. Thank you, children. Bye. Have a nice day. Stay safe and happy.